Morning, Gaffer.
Morning, Ginger.
Hey, Gaffer. They say the car a man drives represents his sex life. Yours must be a bit rough.
Oh, it's probably why I'm having trouble with the big end.
He's the Gaffer. Doesn't need to take the bus. He's the Gaffer. He's the Gaffer.
Morning, Bet.
Good morning, my lord and master.
And don't you forget it.
You're a bit late. Harry's beaten you.
Yeah, well, don't worry about that. He'll make up for it tomorrow and the day after, and probably the day after that. I've had a bit of trouble at home, as a matter of fact. It's that lad of mine again. But the one saving grace about him is he's not twins.
What, Spencer? I thought he'd gone abroad somewhere.
No, he did. A couple of months back. Went to Australia to seek somebody else's fortune.
Isn't he getting on too well?
On the contrary, he seems to be working much better upside down. Matter of fact, from what I gather, he's already organised a sit-in for baby kangaroos.
Well, I hope he makes a go of it.
Well, I hope he makes a stay right there of it. He's working wonders on my wallet, I can tell you, since he went. Begging letters take a long time to get here, you know, from down under.
So what's the trouble, then?
The trouble is a telegram that arrived on Saturday morning containing just one word. It just said engaged. As far as my missus is concerned, that was like a bolt from the loo.
You don't mean to say that she's actually on her way to the Antipodes?
Ready to clobber any cobber who stands in her way. If Australia don't walk out of the Commonwealth 5 minutes after she lands, it's only because they're terrified they'll have to take Rolf Harris back. Any good news amongst this lot?
No, not really. Just the usual bunch of blackmailing demands from the nationalised extortion boards.
Is this the gas bill or the meter reading?
Well, it must have gone up with the cost of living.
What about the cost of dying? You have to take out a second mortgage now to be able to afford to put your head in the gas oven.
Oh, maybe it's expensive stuff to produce.
What are you talking about? It's nothing but Neolithic sewer gas. The gas board go driving around the North Sea looking for prehistoric cesspits. Then they bung in a pipe and they charge 20p a bag for Neanderthal wind. Yeah. What's it? Bill for water services. This is the one that gets up my nose. We can't stop the damn stuff coming through the roof and yet have to pay for it to come up through the floor. OHMS, well, we all know what that stands for. Oh, well, more sacrifices. Hey, have you seen this? I knew they'd do this one day. They've done it at last. Look, my income tax now exceeds my income.
It's just not your day, is it?
I've got a feeling if I looked a gift horse in the mouth, it would have halitosis. I wouldn't dream of walking past the other end, I can tell you. Hello, what's this? One from the bank? I see you haven't opened this, you coward. I'll give you 6 to 4 it doesn't contain a 5p token off my next transaction. Oh, well, I think you better close your eyes. You're going to see a grown man cry again.
What's the matter? Don't you feel too good?
I was in the pink before I realised how far I was in the red. You realise if we lose any more money, they'll be able to nationalise us without the option.
Who are you kidding? You talk as if you've never been in debt before. You owed to a bank before Keats owed to a nightingale.
You don't have take chances at times, eh? You don't understand. It's me overdraft that's in the red. They're putting a stop on all borrowing until my account joins Weight Watchers.
Now, let me see. You stitched up your paying out pocket long ago. Why don't you superglue your checkbook shut?
It's too late, isn't it? There's that cheque to come for Doris's air ticket yet. Williams at the bank is going to go up the wall like a cider-supping spider. Here. I better get round there.
Well, where are you going?
My old dad used to say, if you can't be good, be careful. If you can't be careful, wear spiked running shoes. Go around and see if I can cash a cheque for the wages while nobody's looking. Morning. Lovely drying weather for Newfound notes.
Ah, yes, Mr. Moffat. Mr. Williams would like a word with you. Through that door.
Yes, love, but I've got a train to catch and I've got a feeling they're just about ready to chuck it.
and will have to insist on no further withdrawals until your overdraft has been reduced to the agreed level.
I thought the banks were supposed to give small firms an helping hand, not the enthusiastic elbow.
Mr. Moffat, looking to me for succour is one thing. Taking me for one is a different matter entirely.
Very good. Look, I don't know what you're bothered about. I mean, let's face it, we can't take it with us, can we? Well, the way things are going, I shan't be able to afford to get there.
Look, I don't see any sense in continuing this conversation until you take steps to reduce your borrowings. Now, I'm a very busy man, Mr. Moffat.
But of course, and don't worry, I'll get the money somewhere. I'll sell a pint of my blood, and I've got a feeling the customs will impound it in a bonded warehouse. Oh, by the way, Mr. Williams, I can pay a cheque made out to somebody else into my account, can't I?
Aye, providing it's endorsed on the back.
What do you mean? Do you mean to say I have to sign it?
No. The person the cheque is made out to signs it there.
Oh, the person. I see, and then that will be all right. I want to be absolutely sure.
Perfectly all right.
Thank you very much. You're sure this will be all right, Mr. Williams?
Yes, I told you.
Very kind of you. Did you already said he said it would be all right?
Oh, yes, Mr. Moffat. How would you like it?
As quickly as possible. Managed to get the money. Quick, get it in the safe before Williams comes round with the Irving mob. Well, come on, you know how big she is.
Have you got the key?
Use your haircut and kick the side like you always do. Hey, if that's Williams, tell him I've had to go to the doctor to see him about me advance pound note rot.
Hello, Moffat Engineering. No, I'm afraid he isn't in at the moment, Mr. Williams. He says, oh, yes, you are.
He wouldn't. Hello, Mr. Williams. Yes, I think it was a bit of a misunderstanding. Excuse me. Excuse me. Do you mind bringing your voice down to a scream? Look, quite frankly, I don't know what you're bothered about. I mean, let's face it, the only people in the country making money at the moment are banks. And, of course, people who manufacture red ink. Well, you can't do that. No, listen, you can't... Hello. I hope his goldfish drown.
Don't tell me. What he couldn't do, he just did.
He's calling in the complete overdraft as of now. I've got 3 days to repay it. If there's one thing I can't stand, it's a bad winner.
But you can't pay it all back in 3 days.
Perhaps I'll have a bit of luck and drop dead tomorrow.
Can't you borrow the money?
Who from? Everybody's in the same boat and the bum's missing. Last time I tried ringing round, I got half a dozen assorted Olafs and the name and address of every taxidermist within 50 miles. Come in!
Excuse me, Gaffer, do you have a free moment?
Only if I can't think of a way of charging you for it.
Keep your voice down, Charlie. We're mourning the loss of the Moffat millions, passed away after a long and painful illness.
So don't be surprised if you get black-edged pound notes in your pay packet. Just be surprised if you get a pay packet.
Well, actually, it was my money I wanted to talk to you about.
Oh, don't you start, for God's sake. Yeah. Why don't you go and play with your pretty lathe?
No, you see, there's this big inheritance coming from my uncle, and what I was thinking was, who better than you to advise me on the best way to invest the money?
Come and sit in my chair.
Do you think you can help me with me inheritance, then?
Oh, Charlie, don't keep saying that word inheritance. He'll drool all over his out tray.
I'm sure the Gaffer can help me, Betty, because, as you know, I tried to set up on my own a couple of times, but it didn't work out. So I thought I'd use the money to invest in an existing little business in return for a directorship.
Yes, and what a very good idea, Charlie.
Will you walk into my parlour, said the flyboy to the little green spider.
Betty, do you mind?
What did she say?
Nothing, as usual. But what I was thinking was, I was just trying to think of some, reliable little company you could invest your money in. Like this one. But, I know they say that small businesses are the backbone of British industry, but a lot of them are suffering from slip disc, Not, of course, Moffat Engineering. What was the sort of size of the money you were thinking of investing?
Oh, quite a lot.
Well, that's a bit of a coincidence, because that's just about the exact sum that I was thinking of allowing some young lad to put into Moffat Engineering.
What, me? Moffat Engineering?
Why, you drive a hard bargain. Hey, you talked me into it. Congratulations. Welcome to the board. Now then, Charlie, How much do you think you can bring round by Friday?
Oh, what would you say to 3,000 or 4,000?
Probably say hello 3,000 or 4,000.
Well, why don't you make it a double ceremony? And Charlie could say goodbye to it at the same time.
And for that I could have a directorship.
For that you could have a battleship complete with poop deck. Look, why don't you go back in the factory, make sure they're getting on with your work.
All right then, Gaffer. I'll see what I can do for Thursday.
Thursday will be right. Well, hell, I don't know where it's coming from, but I know where it's going to.
I tell you something, you'll never get to heaven. Not even if the Conservatives are in and decide to bring in private enterprise death.
No, well, if the Socialists are in, there'll be a heartmaker strike and a 6 months waiting list for council clouds.
But it's unfair what you're doing to poor Charlie.
Betty, life is unfair. I mean, here's Charlie with advanced brain blight being left thousands of pounds, and there's me wishing I'd been born rich instead of just brilliant.
Well, humility might have something to do with it. After all, they say, blessed are the meek, for they shall inherit the earth.
Maybe they do, but there won't be a lot left after death duties.
Do you know, Betty, I reckon I would be a very good gaffer.
How am I doing, eh?
I know what you'll be doing if the gaffer catches you. About 60 miles an hour on your left ear-roll.
Yeah, he's never in time on a Friday. He always has to go into the chemist to collect his Valium to ease the pain of signing the wages cheque.
For your information, he has signed it already.
There you are.
And I think that's the sound of him now.
Charlie, what have you come disguised as?
Betty, what's this person doing in here?
The same like what he done out there. As little as possible for as long as possible.
Who are you calling a person? Watch it, Jimmy. You'll finish up your Glasgow headache. A very sore head between two bunches of knuckles.
Betty, take a note. In future, employees will knock and wait.
Oh, all right then. I'm knocking. And now I'm waiting.
Somewhere underneath that brim, Harry, is our new director.
Him? Charlie Hotchkiss. Ah, he's more of a guffaw than a gaffer.
I'll show you whether I'm a director or not by directing you out of that door and down to the labour exchange. You're fired.
Fired?
Yes, fired.
Ah, when Buncombe your oaksters. You're no firing me. I am the subject. Sack
Never
one.
done anything.
Sack one, all out.
Hey! If you two are holding the world heavyweight mudslinging contest in my office, I shall expect a complimentary ticket. Right. Now then, what's it all about?
Oh, nothing, except that your new director has just sacked the leader of your disloyal opposition after 10 years unbroken service.
Yes, well, it's about the only thing you haven't broken since you've been here. And Charlie, there's a bit more to this gaffer business, you know, than just shouting you're sacked at the top of your temper. There are two basic rules in business, and you've just broken the first one. You're likely to get acute inflammation of the Industrial Tribunal.
Well, he was taking the mickey out of me gear.
Was he? I don't see why. You look like the normal Transylvanian tax gatherer's assistant to be. What are you doing in here anyway?
I was doing nothing.
And doing it well enough to pass his trade test in it.
Now, listen, you...
Harry, save your breath. It's your word against their 40-inch bust. You got no chance.
I came in here with an official complaint. There are still no towels in the washroom. How are we supposed to dry our hands?
The way things are going, you can tell them to run around waving goodbye to one another and join them.
Or you could get the old towel out of your saddlebag where you hid it after using it to wipe your bike down.
Oh, did you?
How would you like me to turn that hat into a flat cap?
And while you're about it, you can bring back that quarter-inch drill and the file that you borrowed.
Charlie, what size collar do you take?
Size 15, why?
Just remind me to buy you a size 14 tie.
What's he upset about? I'm only doing my job.
I'm doing it very well, Charlie. When you get back into the workshop, make sure they're not getting up to any of the tricks the Vulgars got up to, but you haven't been bothered about before.
Right. You said there were 2 rules in business. What was the second one?
Never give a sucker an even break unless it's an arm or a leg.
Well, I think it's awful that those two have fallen out. They were closer than a courting couple in a car crusher. Can't you do something about it?
I'm doing something. I'm stirring up things as much as I can. This could be the start of a beautiful hatred.
Well, I reckon that makes it now 6 and 3.
Back to work.
Be a fool, Frank. How can you fancy 4 for to beat 5?
What about Workington?
They're not on the coupon.
Good morning, master of all you survey.
Well, you don't want to be looked at, but you certainly want to be seen to. What's all that business at the gate?
Well, they're on strike again.
Well, I know they're on strike. No, I mean, they don't normally do strenuous things like walking about waving placards. Why are they on strike?
Well, Charlie's upset them, and they've gone as broody as a chocolate chicken.
What's he done this time?
Oh, hello, Gaffer. Sorry about this.
Yes, I think I'm going to have one of those mornings. Just lately, I seem to be having one about every 24 hours. What have you done?
All I said was if they didn't do better tomorrow, there'd be trouble.
Charlie, in business, you never worry about tomorrow. You just concentrate on putting yesterday right.
Will this dispute affect me dividends?
No, not really. For no other fact than the fact that you're not going to get any.
I mean, I don't get anything back and all that money.
Charlie, your money was the finger that plugged up the hole in the Moffat Dyke. Just look on it as a licence to continue drawing a wage packet.
But how am I going to be able to pay back the interest?
Interest? Well, why do you have to pay back interest on an inheritance?
Because my uncle isn't dead yet.
Well, are you sure?
Well, you wanted the cash right away, so I grabbed at the chance and borrowed the money.
Where did you do from?
Well, I saw that Mr. Williams at the bank.
Charlie, you realise what you've done, don't you? You have borrowed the money from the bank to lend to me so that I can pay back the money I owe to the bank out of their own money. When Williams finds out, he's going to tear out his calculator by the square roots.
But he must realise because he took your shares as security.
He took my shares. I bet he enjoyed that.
Yes, he had a funny little smirk on his face.
Did he? Well, I hope somebody warns him that smirking can seriously damage your health. Betty, give me a bit of Eddie notepaper. He's up to something. We've got to get those shares back somehow.
We? There goes that we again.
Oh, not me. I don't want to be a gaffer anymore. Nobody will speak to me. Oh, do me a favour and sack me so I can go back on the bench.
I'll sack you just after you sack me.
I don't think I quite understand you.
Join the rest of humanity.
Look, Charlie, you make me redundant, then with the redundancy money I get from the government, I pay off Williams. Then we can get back the shares before he gets up to anything.
But you can't make a gaffer redundant.
Oh, yes, you can. I count as a servant of the company, and provided I don't hold a controlling interest, I can be sacked. Give me the company seal. Have you got it? Right, lovely. Now then, Charlie, this is my agreement with you, all right, to buy the rest of my shares at a nominal price.
But I can't afford to pay that.
Look, Charlie, it's just for showing to the department officials to prove that I am no longer a shareholder. Then when we get the redundancy payment, I will buy the shares back from you for the actual money that I want you to actually pay me for them now, which is nothing.
That's cheap.
Yes. Look, in the meantime, if you want to get back on the bench, why don't you go and smoke a pipe apiece with Harry? And try not to set fire to him.
Oh, Harry, I just wanted to say that I'm sorry. Well, I don't think that's very friendly.
And of course, there are going to be considerable changes. Ah, Moffat, there you are.
Yes. Goldilocks, Daddy Bear is back. Just wondering what the hell somebody else is doing sitting in his porridge.
Yours? Oh, I think you must be mistaken, Moffat. You no longer hold any shares in the company. The bank has them.
Do you know what he's talking about, Bet?
Well, why don't you ask Charlie Iscariot here?
All right, Charles, speak with your voice.
I didn't realise, Gaffer. Harry and the others won't have me back on the bench, and I'd signed a personal guarantee for that loan. I thought I'd be out of a job, and when Mr. Williams offered to buy all my shares, well, I didn't think it included all those of yours.
Sure, no. He wouldn't give you a blank look without adding bank charges.
I merely advised him of his shaky financial position and offered to help out by purchasing all his shares for the bank, including these that you'd agreed to sell him at a very reasonable price. Which leaves you, I think, with nothing but regret for having made me appear foolish in front of the bank staff.
Yes, well, I'll keep it secret next time.
Hey, Gaffer, what's this about you being taken over by the bank?
Afraid it looks like it, Harry. He's got me by the machinations.
Oh, come on. That's hardly etiquette and us in the middle of a strike. We'll have to start all over again.
I wouldn't advise it, Campbell. And you can tell those friends of yours if they're not back at their benches within the hour, they will be deemed to have broken their contract of employment.
Is he taking early retirement from the human race? Don't just stand there, do something.
Like what? It's your fault for telling Charlie not to darken your time clock with one of his two faces again.
Well, that is easily fixed. Charlie, I love you. You pig. Right, now do something.
Right. Goodbye, Mr. Williams, and good luck.
That's very civil of you in the circumstances.
Good luck.
I think he's going to need it. I'll be sending a lorry round for the machinery and the office fittings.
What do you mean? The machines belong to the company.
Afraid not. They're all hired from my other company, the Moffat Trust.
Now, there's a contradiction in terms, if you like.
Well, I mean, there's the building.
You're on a 99-year lease. And, of course, you're not allowed to sublet. You see, you were in such a hurry to get back at me, you really didn't go into the facts properly, did you? In fact, all you have bought is the licence to pay this lot their redundancy money. I don't think head office are going to be all that pleased, do you?
You found out my little joke, didn't you? Here was I trying to get my own back on you with a wee practical joke of my own, and you go and turn the tables on me. And you knew, didn't you? Well, it's a good thing I wasn't serious, as far as the bank's concerned, that is. And you'd better take this, in case it gets into the wrong hands.
Yes, I'll put it in the bank for safekeeping. I'll tell you what, I'll bring it round tomorrow when I come to see you about extending my overdraft facility.
Yes, of course. I look forward to that.
Checkbook and maid, I think.
Gaffer, you are a miracle worker.
I used to get prizes for it.
He's a gaffer. You can't try it out with him. He's a gaffer. Even when he's on a limb. He's a gaffer. When his back's against the wall, has the answer to it all.
Doesn't trust the politicians to the left or to the right, because they're all the same in office when they make it overnight. Resents the time he spends on paperwork and VAT. Keeps the money that the taxman doesn't see.
He's a gaffer.